Hello everyone, I'm Monse and it's a pleasure to be back. Today I'm gonna teach you how to make a delicious fruit tart, letting you know different things you can change. This is the ingredient list, which I'm also gonna leave you in the description box. First thing we're gonna do is the shell. Place the softened butter and the sugar in the mixer until you have a homogeneous mix. Scrape the bowl and add the egg. Mix again. Once it's all together, you'll add the dry ingredients which were previously mixed in a bowl. Try adding it in 2 parts so that 1, flour doesn't fly all over the place, and 2, you can get a nice mix. Stop once you have a mix that looks something like a cookie dough.
I recommend you to finish your mix by hand, and if you don't get an ingredient to get with the other ones, just help it by hand, because if you mix it way too much in the mixer, it's most likely for your dough to shrink in the oven.
Place your mix in a tray with parchment paper and refrigerate until it's firm, from 30 to 45 minutes. While the mix is in the refrigerator, we will grease the pan or tart ring, in case you have one, with butter and a little bit of flour as it's shown. Now the fun part. You're going to fonçage the tart dough or form it into a tart shape with the ring or pen. Flour the work surface and a rolling pin. Roll the dough into a rectangle about 3 mm thick. You should work really fast so your dough doesn't get too warm. We're gonna blind bake the tart. Place a coffee filter, plastic film, or parchment paper on top of the dough and add rice or beans to hold down as weights, and your tart doesn't rise. Bake from 20 to 25 minutes at 175 degrees Celsius until golden brown. Your tart should look something like this when it's done. We're now going to start with the pastry cream. In a large pot over medium heat, bring the milk and half the sugar to a boil, slowly stirring to prevent the mixture from boiling on the bottom of the pot. In a bowl, whisk together the other half of the sugar with the egg yolks. Stir in the cornstarch until smooth. Please make sure your bowl is big enough so that you don't have to change it just like I did. Slowly whisk in some of the warm milk, stirring until evenly combined. This process is called tempering, a cooking technique in which you gradually raise the temperature of a cold ingredient by adding small amounts of a hot liquid to prevent the cold ingredient from cooking too quickly. While stirring, pour the egg mixture back in the pot of milk. On low to medium heat, while stirring constantly, heat the mixture up until it thickens. It takes about 3 minutes or so to thicken and a further 2 minutes more, once thickened, to cook out the raw taste from the cornstarch. Remove the mixture from the heat before it evaporates off too much water. Allow the custard to cool to room temperature, whisking occasionally. Add in the cubed butter and whisk until evenly combined. A good pastry cream is rich and smooth with a pale yellow color and a glossy velvety texture. Cover with a plastic wrap directly pressed onto the surface and let it cool in the fridge. In order to finish up the tart, fill a piping bag with the jam. Pipe the jam in a spiral pattern evenly over the bottom until it's mostly covered. I'm helping myself with the spatula to cover all the surface. Fill the second piping bag with the pastry cream, piping it in a spiral pattern over the jam. It doesn't need to be that perfect since you're going to cover it up with the fruit, so don't worry, just enjoy. When done with the pastry cream, take your fruit and place it all over the tart. In this case, you put entire blueberries. But for example, if you wanted a strawberry tart, you can cut the fruit in halves and then brush them with fruit glaze to make them last longer. I hope you enjoyed this dessert just as much as my friends and I did. Leave your comments on what you think about it. See you on the next one!